Okay, so I thought this would be a good YouTube series. So I'm going to be starting. This game is called Slay the Spire, if you've never seen it before. It's a very cool deck building roguelike. And we're going to be starting out with this character. It's called the Ironclad. So the 80 HP and Burning Blood. There are 2 characters currently, and they start with unique decks. This guy starts with 10 cards. We will start out with a common relic. You get various bonus options at the start of each run, as long as you at least make it to the first boss, but you don't need to beat it. So this is the map in between fights. Also, the relic we got is at the start of each combat heal 2 HP. It's not amazing, but it gives us a little sustainability early on. There are elites. Elites will give you a better card than normal monsters, as well as a relic. Normal enemies just let you draft a card. You get to choose 1 out of 3 options. Resting in a fireplace will allow you to heal 30% HP, or to upgrade a card. Treasure rooms will give you a choice between 3 relics. Or no, wait, sorry. Treasure rooms will give you 1 relic. Bosses give you the choice between 3. The merchant is what it sounds. It's a merchant. It sells various cards, relics, potions. It also lets you pay for the ability to remove 1 card from your deck, which can be quite important. Unknown could be any of these things, except rest. I don't think it could be a rest, and I also don't think it can be an elite. So it could be a treasure, it could be an enemy, but it could also be random events, which hopefully we will see some of. We're going to take this path. Generally, I like the question marks. They can still be normal enemies, so we're not going to miss out on drafting cards. The game starts out a little slow. We're going to bash defend. Bash is a good card. It does 10 damage, more than a strike. And it sets up vulnerability, which means that he will take 50% more damage for 2 turns. Of course, this turn counts as one of the turns. This guy is a thief. Every time it hits us, whether it's blocked or not, he will steal 15 gold. This enemy type attacks 2 or 3 times, then it will defend, and then it will flee combat. If it flees, you don't get the gold back. You see the enemy's intent whenever it's your turn. So on the next turn, it will attack for 10 damage. We will take 5, but we heal 6 at the end of combat because the Ironclad starts with Burning Blood. And then the next time we enter combat, we'll heal 2 more, so we can afford 8 HP this combat. Without going into net negative. Okay, so he's attacked 2 times, and now he wants to flee. I believe he gains 6 armor, so we'll need 3 strikes next turn. Or bash strike. I think I might also do it. It's 18. Bash strike should work. No, we missed by 1. It's unfortunate we lost 30 gold. Not the best start, but we still get to draft a card, which is all that really matters. Dual wield is excellent. Gives you a lot of options. And it's very powerful in small decks because you can add more cards of any type that you want. That's in the deck anyway. This is our first event. Find yourself in a room filled with racks of test tubes, beakers, flasks, forceps, pinch clamps, stirring rods, tongs, goggles, funnels, pipettes, cylinders, condensers, and even a rare spiritual tube of glass. Why do you know the name of all these tools? It doesn't matter. You take a look around. We found 3 potions. The Dex potion's quite good. I'll explain Dex if I use the potion. Same with poison. This one's pretty basic. It just heals us 3 for 5 turns. Fall into a puddle. It's made of slime goop. Frantically, you claw yourself out over several minutes as you feel the goop starting to burn. You can feel goop in your ears, goop in your nose, goop everywhere. Climbing out, you notice that some of your gold is missing. Looking back to the puddle, you see your missing coins combined with gold from unfortunate adventurers mixed together in the puddle. You can gain 75 gold and lose 11 HP, or you can just lose 44 gold. Honestly, this is very worth it. So I'm gonna go with this. Come up on a dapper-looking, cheery goblin. It's time to spin the wheel. Are you ready? Of course you are. Play. This event is interesting, but I seem to get the curse an unreasonable amount of the time. We got gold. I'm not sure how much. I've never spun this one before. Oh, it's a pretty good amount, actually. So we're definitely going to be looking to hit one of the shops. Probably this one. So then we'll get more drafts, whereas if we go to this one... well, this could be a relic, and we could upgrade 2 cards. We'll see what our deck looks like at the time. Before you lies an elaborate shrine to a forgotten spirit. We'll transform a card. I'm actually going to transform Defend, because I prefer aggro decks. Body Slam's pretty bad to transform and defend into, but it does open up some options. We're gonna do dual wield here. Actually not sure what Body Slam upgrades into. Ah, it becomes free. That's quite good. But probably we're not going to be doing one of those. Now this is an elite mob. It does drop a relic. Or I could do 2 question marks, which could also get relics. And I won't have to fight. This was a shop. We'll take Apotheosis. We don't even need to think on this one. I would like to remove a card, but it costs 75 gold for the first one. Okay, so we have combat again. It's gonna hit for 12. We'll bash and just defend once. So we'll hit us for 7. Okay, so Apotheosis is great. Defend now blocks 8. I didn't explain it, kind of glossed over, but Apotheosis exhausts. Exhaust removes a card from your deck for the rest of combat when you use that card, or when an effect exhausts it. This upgrades all of your cards for the rest of combat, which is really good. Apotheosis is almost always a must-take. Flex. Flex is excellent. You gain 2 strength, but only for that turn. It is removed at the end of turn. However, more specifically, 2 strength is removed. So there's actually another card that will allow you to double your current strength, and that bonus is permanent. So if you double the 2, you will still only lose 2 at the end of turn. You can net gain. Orichalcum is excellent. If you end your turn without block, gain 6 block. It's very good. Especially for the way I like to play. That said, the best play here I think is Body Slam, so we won't be using it this turn. This turn we will. I'm not huge on any of these, honestly. Searing Blow could be good in some decks, but Infernal Blade may be worth taking. The card itself exhausts and it adds a random attack to your hand. The attack will cost 0 the turn that you play Infernal Blade, but when it cycles back into your hand from the discard pile, it will it'll go to its regular cost. So I'm not always a fan of Infernal Blade, but I will take it for now. So we don't really have a direction for our deck. We do not need to visit the shop anywhere. So I think I'm going to go this way and fight the elite. Yes, we'll take that. And I'm thinking we're going to take the 16 damage. Even worse than having an unplayable card, I just don't want to add a card to my deck, period. And losing 4 max HP right now would be bad. Okay. These guys kind of suck. They have Artifact, which negates a debuff. But more importantly, there's Strategic Move, which is this enemy intends to inflict a negative effect. It will add 2 wounds to my discard pile, I think. Also, I never properly explained, but when cards are used or discarded, they go to the discard pile, and then when you would draw, but there are no cards in your draw pile, the discard is then shuffled and brought back to the draw pile. So small decks are excellent. I usually want to keep 20 or less. This guy has the least health. I'm going to use the Defends and Body Slam, actually. I'll block 2 extra damage than if I just use Strikes. That said, prolonging this fight is a bad idea. We already have 4 wounds. Okay, Flex, Bash, Strike. We're going to take pretty heavy damage this turn. Now would be a good time to use this, actually. And since his negative effect's gone, I'm going to use Poison. So this will kill him at the start of his turn. Poison at the start of its turn loses 6 HP, then reduces the poison count by 1. So this works about the same as other buffs, right? Like, if you apply 2 vulnerable, that will make the vulnerable last for 2 turns. Applying 6 poison makes the poison stack. It makes the poison last for 6 turns, and it will deal 1 damage per point of poison. So it'll deal 6 this turn. If it would live the next turn, it will deal 5, then 4, 3, 2, 1, and so on. Poison can stack really well, and it scales excellently. Unfortunately, the Ironclad doesn't really have any way to abuse poison. Okay, so obviously start with Apotheosis. That makes Infernal Blade 0. So we're actually... I believe if we dual wield Thunderclap, the copies will be 0 also this turn, but when we draw back into them, they'll be 1, which is the standard cost for Thunderclap. So we can use all of these. They deal 4 damage each and apply 1 vulnerable to all enemies. We will then strike this guy, and then we will defend. Defending's better than just ending because we'll gain 2 extra block. But if you don't have upgraded defense, they give 5, so ending would have actually been better. Okay, so this should deal... Oh, it'll deal 13 because it's vulnerable. But since it's upgraded, it deals base damage of 9. We'll defend, then we'll do Shield Slam for 12 damage. And now next turn, we will be able to kill almost certainly. 1 strike will take him out. So we handled that pretty decently, I would say. Warpaint will upgrade 2 random skills. We only have 3 upgradable skills, and all of them, or one of them's upgraded. So, actually, I guess it could hit Defense, which would be unfortunate. Flex and Infernal Blade both upgrade pretty well. We hit Infernal Blade, so that becomes free. Honestly, probably better than Flex. Demon Form is interesting. And we don't have AoE yet, so Thunderclap has something to say for it. The problem with this is that it costs 3 mana, so it's a very slow card. Clothesline I'm also not a fan of, since it costs 2 for not that great an effect. We're actually going to skip a card here. I'd rather not add one to my deck. Demon Form can rack up pretty good, but it's just a little too slow, I feel. Infernal Blade. Immolate is not good most of the time. I would dual wield Body Slam, but I would rather use Apotheosis first so that it becomes free. Also, we don't actually have a terribly large amount of armor cards in our deck. You can also view your discard and draw piles at any time, although it's rarely very useful. This guy's dealing more, so we'll hit him first. Oh, correct. Bash costs 2. Their mechanic is curl up. On taking damage, it rolls up and gains 6 block, but this only happens once, and armor wears off at the end of its next turn anyway. So upgrade of Flex gives us 4, and we lose 4. See, Flex is a good card, but the problem is, right now we have a fairly small deck, and I don't want to draw double Flex. So I'm gonna skip it. Yes, we will Apotheosis. We'll kill... We can kill either of them. We'll take out this one, it's gonna have slightly more health. And then we'll just defend. 3 weak. Weak makes enemies deal 25% less damage. I guess whilst we're waiting for this, Dexterity will improve the amount of block gained from cards by 1 each. So if I use this, all of my defense will go up to 10 block. However, if you have an effect from a relic or a power, which we'll probably explain powers later. Basically, powers are set effects. Use the card exhausts, and you get an effect for the rest of combat. There are some powers that give you armor, and those are also not affected by Dexterity. It's only when you play a card. Since we drew Clash, and we have Body Slam anyway, we will play Defend. Clash does 14 damage, so we can kill anyone. Body Slam will deal 8. We have 2 energy left, so we can do that. And then kill this one also. And now Bash should just kill. Or no, we were weakened, so Flex and then Bash will kill. Elixirs exhaust status cards from your hands, so it's only cards in your hand, and it only works once because it's a potion. Status cards are basically anything that you draw that is negative, so like the wounds we had earlier whilst fighting the elite. Cleave can be good. I would rather have Whirlwind, but lacking that, I think I will take the Cleave. Pummel is really good for strength blades, but we're not going super hard on strength just yet. With Apotheosis, I might as well upgrade, actually. I will do Flex. I might as well upgrade, because I would only gain 5 HP from resting. Okay, so this is the first boss. I guess this guy buffs on the first turn. I don't quite remember all the things this one does. It should set up its 7 flames. I don't know if it does anything else. 6 flames, so okay. So this boss is mechanic, I guess you would say. Is that it will charge 1 flame each turn. They start off all charged. And it will hit 7 times 6, or whatever times 6, when all of the flames are charged up. And then he has a pattern, so like the first turn I think he attacks, no buff, attack buff, attack buff. I believe that's how it works. So we're gonna Apotheosis. We don't have a lot of reason to upgrade Body Slam. But then we don't have a lot of reason to add Thunderclap to our hand. It's going to be a bit of a longer fight, and I don't want to draw something that's focused on AoE. even though it applies vulnerable. We should also use this on off chance we play any armor. And we'll apply weak this turn, because that'll debuff all 6 attacks. That said, this won't do damage, and we don't want more copies of it. So we're not going to play either of these. We'll block one of these attacks for and take some damage. Luckily, after a floor boss, you are healed fully. I'm more in favor of just burning him down quickly than defending. And we do block 6 damage a turn anyway. So the problem with dual wield is it's only attacks or powers. It won't work on skills. So otherwise, I would love to put it on this flex. Drew bash back and strike. So his 3x2s right now, because he's weakened, are actually not even damaging us. And this turn he will use a defensive ability. He will block and use a buff. I forget what his buff does. I assume it would just be strength. He's not even hitting us, so I mean, it's good. 2 attacks, then defending buff. Now he'll deal 7x2. It does indeed give him 2 strength. So we'll apply one more turn of vulnerable. Use both of these. I maybe should have dual wielded the cleave because it does more damage than the strike. So having more in my deck would not be a bad thing. We are pretty strike heavy right now. But it's not looking like we're going to have any difficulty killing him. Okay, so you must attack, attack, buff, attack, attack, buff. But we're burning him down much, much faster. So chances are we're going to kill him before he gets 7 off of him. Yeah. It's usually not too difficult to fight. Dex potion is good. So Limit Break and Juggernaut are both good. If I still had all of my defense, I would be very happy to take Juggernaut, but we're gonna go for the Limit Break. Okay, so our options here are the question card. On card reward screens, choose from 4 cards instead of 3. It's probably what we're gonna take. It's quite good. Astrolabe will transform 3 cards and then upgrade them, which is also a reasonable suggestion. I would use it on 2 defends and a body slam, I think, but it could be anything, so this is better in the long run. Of course, this uses cards in our deck, so Velvet Choker will give us an energy at the start of each turn, but you cannot play more than 3 cards per turn, which is quite good on this character. The likelihood of us wanting to play more than 6 cards per turn is very low. That said, maybe I will go Astrolabe, actually. This could be fun. We'll get rid of the body slam. Okay. So we got Sword Boomerang, which scales well with strength. That's pretty decent. We'll deal 3 damage to a random enemy, but it hits 4 times, and that's 3 plus your strength. And we have Limit Break, which doubles our strength. It does exhaust, but when you upgrade it, it actually loses exhaust. Plus we just got Inflame upgraded, which gives us 3 strength. And it's a power, so we can even dual wield it if we want to. Iron Wave is a strictly better strike, so this is good. It does do less damage than upgraded strike, but it also gives us 7 block, which is 1 more than this, so it is still worth using. We do have 304, so I think we'll hit the early shop. And then we'll probably come up this way. Although this path looks pretty good, and we'll get to fight an elite as well. after we pick up a relic. If we go this way, we can come here. Worst case scenario, we can use that fire. But I think this way, no, we can't go this way. The shop is here. So yeah, I guess that'll be the plan. Okay, it's a new mechanic. This guy has plated armor. He'll gain 14 block a turn, but every time he takes HP damage from an attack, it will reduce by 1. So we want to limit break. No, actually we're going to hold this and hope that we run into Apotheosis. Alright, so since it's multi-hit, it reduced it 3 times. We'll block half of this guy's damage. We'll heal the other half at the end of combat. Leave these better even single target. We will take 6 more damage this turn, but taking 12 damage is not a huge loss. There's our Apotheosis. Nothing in our hand actually benefits from it, which is a little silly. We're gonna go ahead and dual wield our power. We'll gain 6 strength. And then I'll iron. Just kidding, we're out of mana. So I'll end the turn. I'll take the 4 damage. Then we can probably kill next turn. It depends what we draw into. This could always give us something crazy like Bludgeon or Heavy Blade. Searing Blow, I mean it's 18 damage. Strength potions are great, especially for this build. Spot weakness is good. We're pretty much a full-on strength build now. Okay. I'm not really a massive fan of any of these. Duvoodal gives us 1 strength for each curse in our deck, but taking curses is a pretty bad idea. We already have an Inflame, and we don't really need 2 since we can dual wield it if we want to. This lets us see the draw order. The ordered cards will be drawn when viewing our draw pile, which is very powerful, but we don't have any draw powers, so we can't really abuse it. Or any other good synergies. So we might actually, we're definitely going to do this, get rid of this last defend, but we might actually hit the second shot. So I'll go this path. Okay, Apotheosis. Flame, limit break, cleave. We'll take some damage again this fight. This is okay. Right. Pommel Strike will draw us a card. We'll start with Spot Weakness. And if we're going to Pommel Strike, we should use Flex first. So we'll deal 23 damage. We will Iron Wave, so it is better. And we'll hit this guy. We'll take 3 more damage here, but I'm pretty unconcerned. Worst case scenario, there is always a campfire before the boss. This man is dead. Again, we're gonna skip out on this. The fan is pretty useful, honestly. And it gives us a way to gain block by playing attacks. That said, we would have to play 6 attacks for it to be better than Orichalcum. So we do gain it during the turn, so I think we're not going to get it. Whenever you skip a card, reward increase your max HP by 2. Oops. Chances are this is going to net us at least between 10 and 20 HP by the time we get to the last boss. So, oh. Oops. At the very least I want to... Actually, did I want to remove a card from my deck? Probably not. And it's probably better for us to wait. Choose one of 20 cards add to your deck. It's a little risky because if there's nothing, we'll get a dead card. The chances of nothing are pretty low. I think I want the Whirlwind. Battle Trance is quite good, but Whirlwind is really good on the 3rd floor. That's quite good on this floor also, apparently. Chemokinesis does 3 damage to us, but it does do 18. So this guy's the lowest. We can not quite kill him this turn. I believe... I should have got this before I used Apotheosis. Okay. Spot weakness will give us 4 strength. And I'm just going to use Limit Break because I don't expect this fight to last all that long, and I wanted to cleave that turn to kill this guy anyway. And Limit Break will come back to us anyway, so it's fine. Yep. We'll just Whirlwind because it should kill him. Pommel Strike is quite good. It does let us draw cards, and it's a strictly better strike, so I think I will go. Especially since it's already upgraded. I don't think there's much need to upgrade any of these since we have Apotheosis. That said, I will gain Limit Break, just so that it doesn't exhaust before we draw Apotheosis. Now, do I want the Elite, or do I want to go this way? This way will give us an extra unknown. But the Elite will give us another Relic, and also a better card than normal. This guy's a little irritating. We should be okay. The enemy is vulnerable. Gain an energy and draw one card. Okay. We'll see what gets hit with this. It's a little unfortunate. We can't kill him. We can kill the shield guy though, so I guess we might as well. He'll summon more. So killing them's not a huge deal. They also flee when he dies. Weakness in flame. Do we go for full setup this turn? He is summoning people. We will have a decent chance of drawing Flex next turn. So I think we'll just set up. We're at 14 strength, which definitely enough to kill this guy with 1 hit. Maybe enough to burst this guy. Well, we got Whirlwind, so we're just going to use that. 3 times 26 is amazing, and it kills these guys. So now he'll have to waste his next turn summoning more guys back. Plus we can kill him with 1 strike, so... Sword Boomerang's even more overkill. Paper Frog. Enemies with Vulnerable take 75% more damage rather than 50. Is pretty decent and makes a good case for taking Shockwave, but we're not going to do that. That did go really, really well, so I think we'll actually fight the second one. Molten Egg. It upgrades an attack. I mean, that's fine, I guess. We'll take Whirlwind. I was honestly a little worried that it might be this guy. Having more copies of Whirlwind is always good. Because one hit does more than a strike, so using all our mana on this is definitely not a bad thing. Usually going to be the best play. Before I attack him, this guy's actually really scary. Every turn he'll attack an extra time. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Pommel Strike, see if we can't draw Inflame. Inflame's a good one. And then this should deal lots of damage. We're going to take decently heavy damage from this. It's honestly harder than a lot of bosses. The Book of Stabbing's a really, really bad enemy. Let's see what we draw. Cleave. Okay, Flex. Iron Wave. Cleave is free. Strike. Strike almost kills. We're gonna take more damage, but we should be able to kill him. We're gonna have a lot of wounds, as long as we don't get too unlucky. This doesn't make you draw a card for the status cards, so it's only good in prolonged fights. Runic Dodecahedron. Your HP is full, gain energy at the start of each turn. Honestly, this is rarely going to do anything for us, but I will take it. And I am not a fan of any of these. Yeah, this guy's a normal enemy now, which is a little annoying, but we do have the means with which to deal with him. He only has 37 HP, which at this point is pretty weak. I mean, to be fair, on the last floor, he's also pretty weak. This guy has the barricade effect, which just means his block is never removed at the end of turn. It's not fun, for sure. It could certainly be a lot worse. And we'll cleave. Don't really want to wield the bash. So we'll take decent damage here again, but we do have 2 campfires before the boss. I'm not super worried. Especially there's no cards in our deck we care about upgrading at this point. Spot weakness a little bit and cleave a little bit, but they can wait for Apotheosis. It's not a big deal. This is scary. Sword Boomerang will deal more than Whirlwind, so we'll use that first. Whirlwind. Unfortunately, it's not quite lethal. It's pretty spooky. Pommel Strike does more damage. Upgrade to Pommel Strike also draws 2 cards. Yeah, so I think we will take Warcry. It's free, draw 2 cards, so pulling it is not a bad thing. And then it adds a card to our deck, but it doesn't really. Because we'll draw 2 extra cards, it's a net gain of 1 if we draw it. And then it exhausts anyway. So we only have to deal with it once. I think a relic's worth 85 gold. Got Ginger, which means we can't be weakened. It's pretty good. We'll rest up here. I would love to get to full HP before the boss, but I don't think it's going to be possible. Whirlwind. This guy has Malleable, which is a little strange. Whenever it takes damage, it gains the amount of block as it has Malleable, but at the end of turn it always resets to 3. Honestly, having more Sword Boomerangs would be great. Just in case this fight goes on a while. It gains 1 stack every time it takes HP damage. Or no, every time Malleable is triggered, rather. Oh, you do have to put 1 card back on top of your deck after. Now, do I want to Inflame, Limit Break? Yes, I think so. It's not going to kill us this turn anyway. Not going to attack us even, I mean. So even if that didn't kill, which at 20 strength, it's pretty likely. Drawing 3 cards, I mean, we're never going to use decks. We don't want those. Heal again here. Honestly, the boss fight's going to be a little scary. The only 45 HP, but we can gain strength. And it's the collector, he's not too bad. I would have liked to draw Reflect or Whirlwind next turn, or even Cleave next turn. That's okay. Yeah, Cleave would have been really good this turn. Perfected Strike's okay in our deck right now. So he doesn't summon all of these back at the same time, so I think it's worth killing them off. And we're going to get to do 2 this turn because of excellent RNG, which means we will block 6 damage. Okay, so next turn he's going to waste summoning more of these guys, which is really good for us. And this guy wants to press. We'll put the dual wield back. Limit break and strike. We're doing base 26 before we even apply the card's base damage. Down to 22 now, of course. I'm just gonna whirlwind. Honestly, I maybe should have dual wielded Whirlwind. I don't think we're going to have any issues here. This is a debuff. It's a very flashy debuff, but it is just a debuff. Gives you weak, vulnerable, and frail. Frail's a new one. You gain 25% less block from cards for 3 turns. We don't have any block cards. Or we have one, Iron Wave, but we don't care. And we can't even gain weakened because of Ginger. So we'll bash him first, and then honestly we'll cleave because I don't want to draw 2 cards. I would rather draw into these things and be able to use them. If we draw a Limit Break Perfected Strike, which we did, he actually probably dies 71 damage. No, 124 because he was vulnerable. Regen potion, not huge, but it's not bad. This is not ideal. Offering draws 3 cards and gives us energy. We'll take that. And exhausts as well, so we don't have to deal with it after. Okay, so I think Cursed Key is generally pretty good, especially going into the last few. We're only guaranteed to see 1 chess. We also want to hit an early shop, so I think we'll go here, then cut this way. We want to avoid combat as much as possible, but we're going to have to go this way because we have to fight an elite on that path. At this point, our deck is more or less finished. So the less chances of finding something we don't want to find in a combat room, the better. And we have an extra energy from Dodecahedron this turn as well. Okay, so we'll put Wild Strike back. Flex, draw 3 cards. It's worth the 5 HP. Pommel Strike. This guy has the least and is also attacking this turn. Iron Wave is better. I don't really want to add a wound, but I guess if it goes on too long, we can get rid of it anyway. So these guys have lifelink. Other enemies are still alive. It revives 2 turns after it dies with 50% HP. Even if this guy comes back, though, we prevent 8 damage by killing him. And he'll only come back with 24 HP. Which in 2 turns, we might have enough strength to one-shot. The other thing is, we kill this guy this turn, probably kill this guy next turn. This is going to deal more damage overall. Okay, so There's almost no way this guy lives. He'll deal 2 damage to us here. We're going to heal all of our health back. We'll get 6 from this, and the next time we enter combat, we'll get 2, which is 8 healing total. So Apotheosis. Oh, okay, okay. This is fine. So does that mean this guy comes back this turn? I thought we would have 2 full turns, but that's okay. Whirlwind will cover. Yeah, Swift Potion is better than the Elixir. Perfected Strike's pretty good. I don't really want another Flex, but we do have 20 cards. We are about to get to remove, so I'll get rid of. Actually, I'm not sure what I'll get rid of. Bottled Flame lets us start the battle with a guaranteed attack. Gonna use that on Whirlwinds. We'll do this first because this is more important. Yeah, that would have been a mistake because Juzu Bracelet can't sell stuff. No. Okay, so probably gonna remove Cleave. Normally I'd remove a Strike, but since we just took Perfected Strike, it's actually buffing the Perfected Strike. Cleave, I think, is the least useful thing in the deck. Okay. Now we can't buy Juzu Bracelet, but that's probably okay. Honestly, I'll get rid of this without a Strength Potion because we're not super likely to go to another shop. In fact, we will not go to another shop. So we can heal 20 HP and take a Curse, or we can receive 2 Madness. Madness exhausts, so it's not that bad. I think I'll take the Madness and lose 10 HP. This gives us 2 cards and injure us, but this is super tempting. So this guy's actually half of an elite encounter, but since we start with Whirlwind and have 4, I'm not terribly focused. Take decent damage here, but I believe we're going to pass more fireplaces than we need. Right? Yeah, we have to go this way. We have 1 fireplace here, and we have another one here, and we're not going to be fighting that way. So fighting half an elite and 2 regular enemies sounds okay. Cry gives me more options. We'll delay the burn. Perfected Strike. This. And then this. Take pretty sizable damage here as well. This might have been a bad idea, but I'm greedy for this relic. This guy deals 8 damage to us when he dies, so let's use Offering first. Infernal Blade. Landed on spot weakness, that's fine. Thunder Strike. Madness. I landed on Bash, sweet. Alright, what relic did we get? Mango, raise your max HP by 14. Not amazing. I do not want any of these. Battle Trance is good, but we have 2 other draw power cards, and it makes it so that we can't draw anymore. This right here is why we have Whirlwind. That said, it's not going to one-shot them. So we're going to do it this way. We're gonna take a lot of damage, but that's... It's not fine, but that's how it's gonna go. Oh man. He's buffing Thorns, which is really bad, but this guy... But he's not buffing his attack yet, so we'll kill him. This guy's standing there. This is really scary. Hopefully we don't have to do too many more fights. Heavy Blade is actually really, really good. So upgraded Heavy Blade is affected by strength 5 times. So we'll deal 14 plus 5 times our strength as long as we've used Apotheosis. There's no way we're gonna upgrade him. Lose all gold, gain a relic. Yes, we are not going to another shop. This is worth it. Honestly, this is pretty bad, but... Sword Boomerang. It's still technically working. Damage. We'll take 8 more from this guy as well. Oh boy. Okay, he did die, thank god. Dex potion, we can't even use that really. Injury, right. So that's 7 healing. I'll take that at this point. Oh, that's really unfortunate. It's not even attacking us. I am gonna take the 5. I shouldn't have used Iron Strike. Wait, is that called Iron Strike? Iron Wave, right? Where's it at? Iron Wave. If it was called Iron Strike, it would be really, really good because it upgrades Perfected Strike. But unfortunately, it's not. It's gonna hit it for 25 this turn. That's actually terrible. It's so terrible that I think I'm gonna use this. And in fact, I'm gonna draw 3 cards. Apotheosis, Madness. Strike. It's gonna deal 63. I need this thing dead this turn, honestly. It's gonna deal 21 times. 13. It sucks that we can't do that on the boss now, but we don't want this. Our deck is overloaded, honestly. 24 is way too many cards. This fucking madness is. Oh. Save me, dude. This would deal more. This is so bad, honestly. So mitigate some damage a little bit. He's buffing through, so we have to kill him. We might be dead. Spot weakness isn't going to do anything. Strike will at least kill this guy. This guy's gonna... This won't kill him, even if it hits all times. Okay. We need to kill this guy with Iron Wave. I think we lose here. The encounters on this floor is so bad. Just all events in the campfire. I'm pretty sure there's no way we will beat the boss though. This only gives us 7. We need to top deck Iron Wave. Iron Wave doesn't give us enough. We would die anyway. This is unfortunate. But we have gained enough for my final unlock. Ghostly Armor. Ethereal. This card's in your hand at the end of the turn is exhausted. Gain 10 block. That seems really bad. Like really, really bad. This is also ethereal. Does 18 damage, but costs 2. It seems so bad. Double your current block though seems like an excellent card. Okay. So that is Slay the Spire. That's pretty much how the game works. It is very difficult. And the third floor is a bit of a problem for that character. Yeah. So next time we're gonna do the other character.